What's up, guys? It's Higgins in Japan here with another edition of the Friday video. The Friday video is the video that I make in my car on the way home from work on Friday. And I don't know if you can tell, if you can see it in my face region, I'm exhausted. It is 7 o'clock at night. I'm just leaving, just finished up with softball practice, and I'm exhausted. I'm not gonna lie. I'm really tired. And I'm gonna go home, maybe play some video games, maybe get something to eat, clean off my windshield here because there's pollen. It's pollen! It's everywhere, guys. It's that time of year. Spring has sprung and trees have started to shower us with their lovely, bountiful pollen that gets in your face and makes you sneeze and all that good stuff. So I put out the call for questions, and on my desk is a notepad where I wrote down said questions, because I was going to bring that notepad with me in the car to remember what those questions were that I asked, or that I had requested. So I asked people for questions to answer on this edition of the Friday video thing, and hopefully I will remember most of them. The problem is I'm not going to remember who asked them to me, and so I apologize, because I had it written down in a nice little piece of paper that said aloha, and it had some flowers on it, and it had people's questions along with their names, and so I apologize. But you know what? I'm actually going to go straight here and show you guys some of the town instead of just driving straight home. That way you guys can have a little bit of a different view. And we're going to going straight here will actually take us through this building here on the corner to your left in the video is a winery. And they have a shop in there where they sell wine. I've not actually been in there, not purchased any, so I can't tell you if it's any good or not. But it is a local winery here in town, and we're going to kind of drive through on the left and right sides of the video as you're seeing here. Grapes. Grape. That sign says grape garden. It's a grape garden, guys. It's pretty grape. I'm not going to make any more grape puns, but I will make some subpar ones. No, that's it for the puns. Anyways, so questions. I got questions, and a couple of questions that I will remember. One of the questions was about driving in Japan, and since I drive a lot, and you guys get to watch me drive, I figured what a timely time to answer that question. My talking game is off because I'm tired. So the question, I believe, was automatic versus manual transmission, which is more popular and which is more common. Honestly, I can't tell you like which is more popular, but I can tell you that like automatic is more common among just normal everyday drivers. The thing is, in Japan, now this is something that's different from like in the States, but in Japan, when you take your driver's test, you take your driver's test based on what type of vehicle you want to get licensed for. So when I took my test, I took it for an automatic. So like my license says automatic test or automatic license. If I were to have a manual license, it would say manual. If you were to somehow get both, I'm sure it would tell you it would have both on there. That way they know that you know how to drive the vehicle that you are going to be driving. So that's a little bit different from in the States. If you're not familiar, in the States it's just kind of like different classes. So like if you want to drive a semi-truck, you can't just have like a normal car license. But yeah, if you get your license in the States, it's for a personal vehicle, automatic, manual, it does not matter. Now it might be different from state to state, but I don't know. I think that should be pretty much the same. Is this dude gonna let me? Thank you. So yeah, so you're also getting a nice little view of, you know, just some backcountry roads here in town. There's not a whole lot for me to point out per se. but it's a nice night for a drive, eh, folks? What else? I got a question if I was going to participate in the Golden Nugget Challenge. I don't even know what that is. I'm going to have to do some research and find out, because that sounds like something that I would be interested in doing, I guess. I mean, if it meant that I got like a gold chicken nugget from McDonald's, I'd be all over that in a second. Because I like gold. Gold, that's my impression of that line from that movie. What else were the questions that I got? I'm trying to see here. Really nice view of the cornfields. This is a cool view up here, a little bit of a clearing. You'll be able to see some cornfields. Let me see if I can, I don't want to adjust the camera and mess everything up and destroy it. Yeah, there were other questions, and I'm really sorry I forgot, guys. Like I said, it's been a busy week for me. Like, Thursday is like my crazy busiest day. I've got 5 classes on Thursday, plus softball practice. And so, goodness, that kind of renders me useless on Thursday. And then Friday, my schedule's a little bit lighter. I get a little bit of a break during the day, and so yeah, but still, softball practice can kind of take it out. Oh, somebody wanted to know like a softball update / like video from the softball team. Unfortunately, I can't post any videos with my students in them, just for privacy issues, which sucks, because I would really love to show you guys like practice and like what I do at practice and all that kind of stuff. But basically, what I can do is I'll run down kind of what our practice looks like, and I'm gonna head back towards my neck o' the woods with this right turn here. But yeah, if we time it right, we both get to go. Yay! So basically, softball practice starts after 6th period and runs until 6:30 to 6:40, depending on the day and if there's other things going on. And so basically, from about 4 o'clock, the girls actually go out onto the field, and like, the crazy thing is, and I talked about this a little bit before on the ALT podcast, the ALT Insider podcast, like, they pretty much could lead like softball practice by themselves. Like, they are very self-sufficient, very just like self-motivated. Like, I don't feel like, I mean, like, I played football back in the day, and I don't ever remember being like, all right, guys, like, let's let's take practice seriously. Like, that's the coaches were always yelling at us. And so, yeah, they very much are very self-motivated, and they'll go out and they'll do their warm-ups, which consist of like, they'll run a couple laps, and then they'll do some stretches, do all kinds of different little stretches, and then they started this new thing where they've set up orange cones, kind of like in almost like a landing strip type thing, and they'll go 2 by 2, and they'll run from one end to the other, and then they'll do like different kind of like running and like stretching in between. Then they'll do like different maneuvers where they're like running like foot over foot. Like, it's hard to describe what they do. And then after that, we've kind of been like, normally they would just like practice, you know, they would just do warm-ups by like throwing the ball back and forth to each other. And that consists of just your standard, hey, throw the ball back and forth. But then, you know, let's practice grounding. Let's practice like a one bounce, you know, like where you throw the ball at the ground and it bounces once and you got to get to it before it bounces again. That sort of thing. And so they'll do that. And then they'll do like batting practice where they, you know, start out with bunting and then start out with full, and then like a little bit of like a chop swing and then like a bigger swing. And then they'll break up into like 2 groups, and you'll have one girl batting and then the other girl's fielding, and so that's usually how they do. And then like the other coach, like the head coach, he'll come out somewhere in between there. I'm usually out there around the time that they start their stretches and stuff. But anyways, so they'll like the head coach, he'll come out and he'll split up the group of like he'll take like Nina and San second and third year, and I'll take first year. And like I've been working with all the first year girls on batting, and so like I kind of mentioned in the ALT Insider podcast, just to plug that one more time, I mentioned earlier in the year I was kind of well, when I was on the podcast, it was earlier in the year, and like my frustration with coaching, and it's not due to anything other than just my lack of patience sometimes. And so like I definitely this season just kind of reminded again of like, okay, like these girls have not played softball before. They've not done our training. They've not done our, they've not done things the way that we've been doing for the past year. This is all new to them. And so like as a coach, I need to remember like to be patient, and it's not to say that, you can't be like firm or motivational that way, but just always kind of remembering that like this is all new to them, and they might have never played baseball or softball or thrown a ball or hit a ball or run bases before. Like it's all new to them, and so you kind of have to start with the very ground at the very bottom and work your way up. And like something that I try to teach them and try to tell them is like, don't try to hit a home run your very first time. Like you've got to start somewhere. You've got to start by catching the ball. You've got to start by throwing the ball. You've got to start by hitting the ball. Like practice just being able to hit the ball off of a tee. Like let's just start there. Like you don't have to, like, don't feel bad that you're not hitting home runs. Like you're not going to hit a home run your first time, playing baseball during a practice. It's just not something that's possible. And so so that's what I try to do as coaches, try to remember that, as well as let them have a little bit of fun. I mean, it's softball, yes, it's a competitive sport, but like as a coach, you also have to remember not to get in your head, so like get into your head that like, man, like we gotta win every game's got to be a winner, because like you'll go because you'll like you'll end up like kind of ruining the time that the girls have, or the team has, at playing. Like yes, it's fun, yes, it's competitive, but like let's kind of do both. At least that's my view. I can't say that it's the same, and like for the other coaches, and that's great. I think that like I joke about like good coach, bad coach, like the good cop, bad cop type thing of like one coach is really firm, where I'm just like, you know what, let's just take it one practice at a time. And I think you have to have that balance in coaches, like, because if every coach is just yelling at everybody, it's not going to be, you're going to have a bad experience, and the team's going to have a bad experience. So that's been Higgins in Japan with the softball update. Hopefully I will remember and do this each week. Give you guys a little bit of an update on how we're doing and how they're progressing. And honestly, like I was standing there today watching them just throw the ball back and forth, and was already impressed with like how far they've come just in a few short weeks that they've started practicing. Like really impressed. Like they show a lot of dedication in practices. Like we have fun, but like at the end of the day, they're always like, oh, I'm so tired. I'm like, good. It's good to be tired, but like, did you have fun? Like, yes. Okay, great. So like, be tired and have fun. This is junior high. let's not take everything so completely seriously. Who knows? Maybe that makes me a bad coach. I don't think it does. I think, not to pat myself on the back too many times, but like I said, you got to find a good mix of coaching and not taking things so seriously. That's going to do it for this edition of the Friday video. I'm really sorry that I couldn't remember the other questions, and I'm sorry that I rambled and talked about softball for what seemed to be a way too long. Hopefully it wasn't too boring for you guys, but that's what these Friday videos are for. They're for me to answer your questions and for me to ramble as I drive home and talk about my experiences and what I'm doing here in Japan, and hopefully that's interesting to you. And if it is, then please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe and all that good stuff here on the YouTubes. And if you have questions for me, facebook.com/Higgins in Japan. You can either send me a message privately if you don't want me to mention your name, or if I actually remember to mention people's names that ask me questions, or whatever, leave me a comment at the bottom of this video saying, hey, next time talk about this, or hey, what's this like in Japan, and I will try to show it to you guys. Have a good weekend. I'm headed to Tokyo tomorrow, so who knows, maybe I'll have some video of what's going on and what I'm doing in Tokyo tomorrow, and that'll be uploaded at some point. A new Higgins Eats Japan video was supposed to come out this week, and it didn't. It'll be out next week, and hopefully you guys enjoy it, and I will catch you guys later. Have a good one. Stay safe. Peace.